Hey guys, so sorry to bombard y'all and like take up your newsfeed with all my videos, but I don't have a lot of time, free time that is, and Logan's not here, so I have a lot of time to play with this little one and I'm freaking loving it, and I figured I might as well take the opportunity that I do have and bust out some vids. So, actually, a comment that I got on one of my other videos, Nicole commented about my breastfeeding and how she thought it was awesome that I breastfed so openly, and it made me want to make a video about this for you guys because, you know, unfortunately this is a very controversial topic, especially when it comes to breastfeeding in public. You know, there's a lot of rules and just, not rules I guess, but just guidelines set by society as what is okay and what is not okay in all aspects of life, but even so in breastfeeding your child. And unfortunately I feel like it's led a lot of people to choose to not breastfeed, and that really is so sad to me because there is nothing more beautiful than a woman breastfeeding her child, a mother breastfeeding her child. You know, that is the ultimate bonding situation, and I'm not knocking anybody who chose not to breastfeed or couldn't breastfeed for a reason. You know, I'm not knocking that at all whatsoever. You mamas are just as beautiful, and all that. So please don't take offense because this is not meant to be offensive. But you know, I love breastfeeding and I'm pretty open about it. I learned a long time ago that I'm not very good with abiding by society standards. And I'm not sure if that's just because I'm a rebel or if that's just the way I am. But personally, I see nothing wrong with breastfeeding. I see nothing wrong with openly breastfeeding out in public. You know, I don't see it, which is sad, which is so sad. But if I ever saw a woman just out in the open with her tit hanging out breastfeeding her kid, hell yeah, mama, do your thing. Like, breastfeed your child. Don't be ashamed. You shouldn't be ashamed. You're doing nothing wrong. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a woman choosing to breastfeed her child. Breastfeed her child out in the public eye for everybody to see, breastfeeding her child. I mean, if you can walk in New York City, it is a law that you can walk around without a shirt on as a female. If that kind of crap exists, or not crap, I shouldn't say crap, because I mean, it's a female body, whatever, but if that kind of law exists, then women should not feel ashamed about feeding their child out in public. I hate the fact that some women, you know, have to go into public restrooms and feed their kid because they're too worried about how other people are going to feel about them breastfeeding in public. For me personally, when I breastfeed out in public, the majority of the time, I usually, I try to be strategic about my breastfeeding. I try to wear a tank top or like a cami like this underneath my shirt when I go out in public, so that I can lift up my shirt and keep my cami down and like put my cami down like where my tits out, so that it covers up pretty much everything. And you would be surprised how many times I have done that and nobody has noticed. Like walking through the grocery store, through, you know, Target or whatever, and nobody notices. So you've probably walked past mama's breastfeeding and not even realized it. But anyway, if I don't do that, then I try to, sometimes I will cover it with I will cover him with a blanket, like a little receiving blanket. But even so, that's really more for James than for me, because James, he, as my man, you know, of course he doesn't want anybody looking at me like that. So I do it more so for him, so that he doesn't have to bust any heads, because if he caught somebody looking, he'd be pretty mad. But, and Ronan's at the point too where like he doesn't want a blanket over his head while he is trying to eat. He is trying to enjoy his meal. He doesn't want a blanket over his head where he can't see my face. where he gets hot and sweaty. I'm the kind of person, like, if I'm breastfeeding my kid out in public, if you don't want to see me breastfeed my kid out in public, then you don't need to be looking at me while I'm breastfeeding out in public. It's public for a reason. Everyone is around doing whatever they want. You know, people smoke cigarettes on the sidewalk and stuff, and we're out in public. I mean, in public, you have to deal with other people. You know, I see absolutely nothing wrong with breastfeeding in public. You know, and if you're the kind of person, like, you want to pump and take bottles with you out in public so that you do that, I mean, whatever. Whatever your choice to do as a parent is your choice to do as a parent, and that's awesome, you know. But I don't know, breastfeeding, it is amazing, and if you want to, you know, it is worth the effort, you know. And it's hard for some people, and that's sad, you know. It's not everybody can do it because they want to, or, you know, not everybody formula feeds their child because they chose to formula feed, and I understand that completely. But it is worth the effort, definitely. Yeah, and I've read all kinds of stuff on Instagram with people's pictures, because Instagram just made it official that you can post pictures of nursing your child, and it won't get deleted as, like, inappropriate on Instagram. So that is awesome. Kudos to Instagram, definitely. But one of the awesome women, mama ladies I follow, posted a picture of her nursing her son. No nipples showing or anything like that, but she was just nursing her kid, and there was a lot of hate, and even what surprised me from fellow moms that breastfed, and it just confused the crap out of me, because, you know, it's a boob. Like, I don't even think of my boobs as sexual things anymore. My boobs are what I use to feed my kid, and then when I don't have kids anymore, they probably won't even resemble boobs very much. I mean, when you become a mom and you breastfeed your kid, like, you know, it changes how you look at your anatomy. You are more than just a sexual being. You are the life force that is feeding your child. You are amazing. Like, it's crazy to me how a fellow breastfeeding mom, out of anybody, will sit there and judge another breastfeeding mom because she's more comfortable being open with her body. People just accept it. Women have boobies. Like, this is not new news. It's been that way since the dawn of time, and boobies are used for feeding children. That is their purpose. If we didn't have boobs, I don't know. I mean, freak, even males have nipples. Like, and it's, the funny thing to me is, like, oh, it's not even the skin around the nipple, it's the nipple itself, or the areola. If that's showing, oh my goodness, a nipple. You can show all the skin of your boob, but you just can't show your nip. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, guys have nipples, and it's totally fine for them to walk around without shirts on. I don't know. Anyway, breastfeeding is amazing. It's beautiful. If you want to do it, freaking do it. Don't be ashamed. Do not feel ashamed because somebody else is not comfortable with the human anatomy. That's not your fault. That's their fault. They need to work on themselves. You need to keep doing what you're doing. Keep being amazing. All that good stuff. Again, I'm sorry for blowing up your newsfeed with a bunch of videos, and they're long. I know. I'm horrible. I'm sorry. Bye.